accompanied by trainee number 1 from France. He is Monster Mack.
Holy freaking crap, everybody. And welcome to another edition of the Mackcast. It's your first time ever this time, and I'm pretty sure that it's legit the first time ever, because usually when I say it's the first time ever, you have some kind of correction for me. But like, actually, Mac, it's not the first time ever, but I'm pretty sure it's the first time ever doing 2 Mackcasts in one day. What kind of schedule you got me on, trainee?
Well, actually, Mac, it's not the first time ever. No, I'm just joking. I have no idea. We may have done 2 in the same. I feel like we did Jack Connor and the 15 minutes under the influence with Mike Montero in the same day. Yep.
God damn it, you got me again.
Sorry, dog.
First time ever here on the Mackcast. 2 Mackcasts in one day. Can you believe it? I'm going to come up with the first time ever, and it's going to be legit.
Are we releasing both of these on the same day? I was gonna put the Middlesex Express one up in like a couple days, and not today. But I mean, I guess we can put them up on the same day.
Welcome to the Mackcast, everyone. It's going to be great. We got a special one for you, and who knows? Maybe in like a week or so, there might be another Mackcast starring a specific tag team that we're not going to mention.
From Lowell, a tag team from Lowell.
One of the tag teams from Lowell. Anyone. I don't know, but trainee, I got no Mac news because I announced my Mac news
Episode we filmed earlier today.
in the future.
Right, the future episode. So the Mac news is House of Bricks.
The Mac news is that we're going to have a new Maccast coming for you, starring a special tag team from Lowell. It's a mystery tag team. You won't find out until it comes out.
And MonsterMac.net. That's part of Mac news, right?
Yep,
I feel weird, like you're sitting higher than me in the room, and I feel like you're judging me. Like you're super judgy from up atop your exercise bike.
I like to look down upon you. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to look down upon you.
You've been doing it for years. The Monster Mac show, you had the higher up desk than I did. Still do, currently, right now.
So tell the people who we got here for the Maccast, trainee.
You son of a gun. In the house tonight is what was it? Hold on.
The greatest wrestling family in all of New England pro wrestling history.
Mac, tonight on the Maccast, we have the greatest wrestling family in New England pro wrestling history.
The Loomises? The Loomises are here?
No, it's not the Loomises.
The Hart family's not from New England, right?
They're from Canada.
All right. Who else have we got? Oh, the Armstrongs.
They're from, I think, Texas. Or like North Carolina. They're from like down south, some Tennessee.
You tell me, Trini.
The Bakers. We got the Bakers.
Oh, the Bakers.
Oh, that's obvious.
Are they here? The Bakers are here?
What about the Marinelli boys?
The Marinelli boys. You can't forget about them. They're from New England, right?
Did I pronounce that wrong? Is it macaroni?
Marinara.
The marinara boys. The sweet dips.
Oh, like the pasta and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Who's here, Trini? Tell me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's T Phoenix. He's in the house with family in tow.
With family in tow. The little one, what was he watching on YouTube?
He was not so little.
That's porn. What the hell?
Is he?
I told you no porn.
No porn. You're gonna ruin Monster Mac's Xbox One.
It's definitely porn. It's all pixelated.
Yeah.
I
Is
see
this
the
90s porn? Like I'm watching it
through
the Spice Channel on the
black box.
and
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
This guy over here.
Sorry. And sitting in the Maccast podcast circle is your oldest son. Favorite son. He says that might cause.
Surprise.
He's shooting right now, but is Austin Phoenix. What's up, buddy?
The
Austin
opposite.
P.
What?
P. AP.
What?
Phoenix. What's the last name?
What?
Are we doing the Stone Cold thing?
What?
I think we're doing the Stone Cold thing, Mac.
What?
Because his name's Austin. That's funny. I get it.
Yeah,
What?
no, I understand. Clack 2 Monster Energies together and chug them like you're Stone Cold right now. It'd be amazing. But T, there's been a lot of, I mean, even before all this jiggity jive has gone down, YTY has been a big question.
Oh, we're going to get right to that.
No, I mean, not specifically that, but, you know, the YTY thing.
Sounds like a T-shirt.
The
that I should
Rives.
make money on.
I think I'm going to call the episode YTY.
Perfect.
And we're going to get into the explanation. I guess it initially started when you turned your back, supposedly, on the RWA fans, and you joined with the Minutemen, who are frenemies of the Maccast.
frenemies of the Mack.
frenemies,
Yes,
right? Like,
yes.
because we hang out sometimes, but also, sometimes you just want to punch him in the face.
Fair enough.
Like Devin Blaze, Tommy. Not so much Tommy because his face looks like a baseball. And
Leave Abe Knuckleball Schwartz alone.
my bad, Tone Knuckleball Schwartz. And
I don't want to punch it in the face. I want to hit it with a baseball bat.
right, and I don't want to do that to my friend. So I'm upset with him for making me feel that way. To tell you the truth.
But Devin Blaze, no, you don't want to.
No, I want to light him on fire.
You want to light him. That's probably.
So he'll be
That's
hot
probably
like the
fitting,
hell that
right?
he's
Yes,
used to.
yes.
Yeah.
But would you like me to go into it? Is that what
Yeah,
you
a
set
little
me
bit,
up
man.
for?
Like, because the last time you came on here, you had a little too. We all had a little too much French wine, which kind of is the Mack thing to do.
Yeah, I feel like it was a setup, though. Like,
No.
Let's
It's
have
not
a
a setup. It's just that's just how we party. We just party like that.
And you talk about the Mike Montero under the influence for 15 minutes. That was us under the influence for 90 minutes?
Much more than 15 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm calling this one T3.
T3.
This is T3. All up in here, the worst of the trilogy, apparently.
No, I think number 2 was the worst of the trilogy, and
of-
that's why I've been on you for what seems like months now.
You're not counting the Throwdown Lowdown though, right?
No.
He's not talking about Terminator 2, right?
No.
No, okay. I was gonna have to say,
Terminator
you
2
son of a gun.
It's the best of the trilogy. Terminator 2 is the jam.
Absolutely.
All right.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but there is also another member of the family here, hashtag AWR. That would be Liz D.
Liz D.
Where are you pointing that?
Sorry, I didn't realize.
So
Hi.
she used her marital pull to sneak on an episode of the Mackcast
That, yes.
Yes, I
for
did.
sure, right? Yeah.
And she heard I was making meatballs.
And the meaty balls. Something to
I
do with
do
this.
I do love it. I love his balls and his gravy. So
Now, if you want to say first time ever, Mac, I think this is the first time we've had a female on the Mackcast.
What? First time ever, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? There was a what?
Female. She's a chick
First time ever, female. She's a chick
on the Mackcast. The first.
on the Mackcast.
That's it. That's all you had. That's terrible. You didn't do it.
That's not counting LeMay.
No, LeMay's never been on either.
No,
we just
he
make
hasn't?
fun of him
Okay.
on the Mackcast.
All right, perfect.
Hold on, I'm trying to think.
And he should never be on, ever.
I don't know. Do we know any chicks? Not really, right? No.
Why? That's surprising for two ladies men like yourself that there's never been a chick on.
We travel to France too much. We got ladies there. It's just here. It's just not.
Do they have area codes in France, like hoes in different area codes? Is that thing?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know
Are
for
they
sure.
Are they called area codes there?
When I'm there, I still use my phone from here,
Okay.
so it's still like
That prepaid
508.
junk works over there?
Yeah. It's my screen's smashed too. It's pretty shitty.
I think Mac wanted a word. He's tapping you on the
I
shoulder.
don't know about him. I know plenty of ladies, just none of them interesting enough to be on the Mackcast.
Also very true.
There was that one rapper girl we were going to try to have on. What happened with that?
She stopped rapping.
She stopped rapping before we could have her on.
had the Mackcast.
Because we like to book it a year in advance.
Yeah. We seen her and we talked to her at the PAL.
Stop rapping, not wrestling. Stop rapping. No longer of interest to you.
Well, no, but no longer of interest to interview her
Oh,
because she's going to talk about like hanging out aliens and no. She runs her own like store where she sells.
happened last time.
Oh, it's always
Always me.
tea. She runs like her own spirituality store. She sells like crystals and body rubs and
It's
aliens.
also witchcraft stuff too.
For real, dude? We should have her on the Mackcast.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if we can work that out. And about a year from now, we'll get her on here.
I'm in good with her. I could put in a good word.
Well, I bet you are, Mr.
Oh, wait,
Phoenix.
slow down,
Mr.
Slow
Phoenix.
Down. Don't get any.
Did she
What?
want the tea?
No, I don't.
All right.
I mean, there's others that do. Don't get me
Of
wrong.
course.
but no.
Who wouldn't?
Well, I mean, it's valid. It's valid. Who wouldn't? I think we're getting off subject. See, I told you. He pitches a question, and then we get off to.
I don't even know what the question was. I don't
Why?
even remember.
YTY.
Oh, YTY. Like TTY, but YTY.
YTY. You know, for those who know and don't know, my life in this last year, actually since last October, has been a living hell. And he's laughing.
Not my fault.
No, not your fault. It's been a living hell, and you know, the only reason I'm still here today, this is 100% true, is a good support system and a good set of friends. And you know, believe it or not, guys like Devin Blaze, no matter what we've been through in the wrestling world, in the real world, guys like him, he had my back.
For sure.
For sure. And that's 100% real. And then also, it's multi-layered. I'm like an onion. I got many layers.
Yeah.
And I make people cry.
By scaring them, I've seen.
Yes, that's the next question. That's a whole other story. I take so much great joy in that too, because they deserve it, not because I'm mean.
Some people just need to be scared. Had RWA and the Chop Shop met its demise, we'll get back into that too. Of course.
But this whole story would have came out eventually, but I'd love nothing more than to give you the exclusive answer. But beyond Devin Blaze and his hospitality and opening his door to the castle, the funny castle.
The giant, the door swung down.
Yes.
It was on chains.
Almost hit me. Good thing I had
the moat, yeah. Just in there by himself. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Except Nana Funny came to visit one time.
She's nice.
She is a great lady. Makes an amazing meatloaf too.
Delicious.
You've had it.
Of course I have.
Of course. So besides Devin Blaze, there's also like why turn on the heavy hitters? Weren't they good friends? Well, at one time, yeah, certainly they were.
Yeah.
As many people have gotten to see, they've enjoyed a bit of success outside of RWA, more specifically, and even more recently, becoming NECW Tag Team Champions.
Which is good for them.
Yeah, definitely good at them. But let's be honest, while we're telling the truth, neither one of them would be whatever the hell it is.
Whatever.
They wouldn't be working for Sheldon.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me. And did I get a thank you? Did I get any credit? No. No, not absolutely not. No, not whatsoever. So, I did what I did to the heavy hitters, and tough shit, as they say.
Now, I feel like Blaze had been like running a little chaos over right before you made that turn, where he was President God and in control of everything and out of his mind. Was it more like if you can't beat him, kind of join him thing?
He awakened something in me that had been sleeping for a very long time.
He's good at making people bring that angry out.
Yes, and that angry needed to come out. It needed to come out, and it wasn't can't beat him, join him. It was, you know what? I get the message. He has a unique way of getting into your mind and delivering that message, and he accomplished it by what he was doing. And the monster had to come out, and mission accomplished. Now, you also made reference to turning my back on the fans.
Right.
What did they ever do to me?
Right.
Oh, interesting question.
Before we go on that huge tangent, I just want to say at the last RWA show, you were cutting a promo and you were going to explain to the people why you did it, and then you went off on a tangent and hit on AG Vito's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah? That was his ex-girlriend? I had no
No
idea.
No clue, you say.
No.
Were they break up since that show?
No, they broke up before that.
Oh, she still went?
Yeah, and that's right. Yeah. But
she wasn't there for him.
You weren't sure that was AG's girlfriend?
Of course I knew.
Pretty sure at the end you made like an all good reference. So everything will be all good.
Yeah, I said, if you give me the green light, I promise the rest of your night will be all good.
And that's funny.
That's funny.
You popped, everybody, but including the boys. Like that, there was a huge reaction.
I can always get a reaction.
Now, you got to hit on the ladies. I totally understand that. But what happened to your promo? After that?
Well,
And then we were all wondering why.
And I'm telling you why.
What, right now?
Yeah,
oh, good. I'm glad he showed up then.
All right, cool, yeah.
I'm just good at being a tease. Isn't that right, Liz?
Yeah.
It's a weird answer when Austin's staring you right in your eyes. When
he could teach you a few things.
He might. Look at him. He's giant.
And you know what? While we're shooting, there was a point. Adam over there. He's going to get mad if he hears me. He's waving so he can't hear me. There was a point in time where I found something when I was cleaning his closet out because he doesn't like to clean his room, and there was some language and some drawings that I wouldn't expect from him. Yeah, he's telling me, shh, no, Dad, don't blow up my spot. I'm a good kid. But yeah, I think through the power of the internet, both of them can tell you more than you even know.
I'm sure when I was a kid, dude, I found porn magazines in the woods.
You too?
I think that's just, I don't know.
No lie. I found some in my elementary school, and I'm like, oh, that's
In
what
the
that
woods?
is? That's where that goes?
Dude, it's crazy. I feel like everybody I know that's around our age, like the pre-internet kind of stuff, everything was found and stored in the woods. I don't know what happened, but it happened to everybody.
Wow, that's crazy. And nowadays,
Did that happen to you, Mac? Did you find porn in the woods ever?
What? My mom taught me about that.
About porn?
Yeah. Wasn't all mother supposed to teach you about that?
This got real weird. No, I'm sorry. Continue, T.
so nowadays,
What the
this
hell is he talking about?
that's your friend.
That's so strange.
So nowadays, there's porn on the internet and clowns in the woods.
Right.
That's
There's always been clowns in the woods. I just want to... They've always been out there.
oh well.
We talked about the clown things on the other podcast that's going to be in the future from this as well.
The podcast that hasn't
That
happened.
hasn't happened yet. We
talked
talked about
oh, okay.
clowns and Clown Lives Matter and all that jiggity jive because why is everybody so scared of some damn clowns?
What's that?
I'm responsible for that hashtag.
Clown Lives Matter. You're responsible for that.
Me too.
I think you're responsible for a lot of.
It's true.
He,
That's why my life matters.
he has a list actually.
A list.
He started a list.
And what's on that list?
Juggalos are on the list.
Juggalos are on the list. Like even these two right here?
No, I love you guys.
All right.
I'm
No,
talking
I
ICP
totally understand.
fans.
Is it like the same list that Steve the Turtle Weiner has?
Just say no to that. No. Say no.
You know what? You just made the list.
Yes! Yes! Awesome.
That's the Dick Lane response. So thank you very much. I'm very happy to be on your list,
For
Steve.
for real, he's got a notebook and the list is an actual list of names.
They're douchebags. That's cool.
He's also changed people in his phone to Stupid Idiot and their initials, so he has like 14 people named Stupid Idiot. Yeah. I
Talk to so many stupid idiots.
Yeah, why do you have so many stupid idiot friends?
Isn't everybody a stupid idiot these days? Isn't that like the cool thing to do? Is to just be totally ignorant? That's what it seems to be. And I just talk to people, find out they're a stupid idiot, label them as such, and just stop talking to them.
That makes sense. I know people who used to
son,
put.
T. I'm so proud of our son.
I used to see people that like would change people's numbers to like don't answer this call.
I've
Like,
got a couple of those.
Yeah.
I got a Stupid Idiot, Leave Me Alone, Hot Mama.
See what happened there, dude? They changed the subject again. He's not answering the YTY. We're talking about stupid idiots. now.
Okay, we already discussed the YTY. Why
All I want
I
to know is why, T. Why?
because Devin
Fans,
Blaze is a
what
good
the
fan
fans.
because the heavy hitters don't appreciate my friendship or what I've done for them, and now we can get to the fans.
What they do to you?
Most of the fans are good. I think you can understand through how many years you've been in this business that there's a lot of cool fans
2,
out there.
3 maybe.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
okay,
That's all. That's not bad.
multiplied by 7.
Yeah.
You're like, what's that? Dog years or something?
Yeah. We're old men.
Mac
is what we
years.
are. Mac
right?
years.
You multiply by 9 for Mac years. That would make you 108.
I might be 108 years old. My bones feel like it for sure.
So some of the fans, they're great, and like Ed Tellier and
the chicks.
and his kid Aiden. They're
Naden.
Naden and Aiden.
They're
great.
I think this is their first Matt Cash shout out.
Really?
Possibly.
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh, speaking of shout outs, Kevin, what's up? There you go.
Yeah, who
you,
is that guy?
You
I
tried to
don't know.
video that. That's Kevin. He had a hand in running USWF.
Okay, that makes sense.
USWF, the reason I'm even involved in this stuff, because I saw them on public access, and I was like, I think we've talked about it.
Yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
I want to do that.
No,
I'm pointing at the wall, but
You're pointing at the computer screen.
I'm
like,
pretending
the
to
audio
be
recording.
I'm pretending to be me 15, 20 years ago
Gotcha.
watching TV. I want to do that. Just pretend there's a TV right there.
I feel like a lot of people that have been on this podcast have been influenced by this USWF.
Oh yeah,
Maybe we should have this Kevin character on here to talk about it.
Oh, you
Is
don't.
that a no? No, is it?
You,
Does he hate
yeah, you
everybody,
should.
or-
No, he doesn't hate everybody. He's a
Oh.
great guy. Him, his brother Glenn, they're just a wild cast of characters. And
You just seemed like about that. Like,
no,
Oh,
no,
I
like you don't know what you're getting into
oh no, I mean I'm down
because
I'm-
they're wild. Like
yeah, that's
they
cool.
put
with
the
that.
Max to shame.
Really?
Yes,
There's not too many.
I.
Body hardy. I'm still hungover. That's legitimate.
Are they gonna break shit in my apartment?
Nah,
No,
well, no, it's not
no,
our old
no.
apartment. If it was our old apartment,
I thought that's what he was saying. He's wild. You know what I mean?
like, they're just gonna be kicking in the light bulbs and stuff like that.
Put it this
It's gonna
way.
look like Clockwork Orange in here.
Let me sum up a USWF show in this one example. Tom Billington and I were tag team partners. That's where the Killer Tees started.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, Tom Billington ends up stripping down almost naked to just spandex boxer shorts, whatever those gimmicks are. And wedged them up into the crack of his ass also. So he's that naked, and our finish was me tombstoning him onto somebody's dick, and that was our finish. That's USWF.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's with Dick Lane now.
Dick is the best. So.
You heard it here.
You heard it here, folks. Dick is the best.
USWF always...
Dick lives matter.
Dick Lives Matter. USWF was always about the entertainment, not much about the wrestling, but there was wrestling involved. It was a great time, great bunch of guys. And, I mean, if you want to make that connection, you want them here.
Hey,
I'll
Brandon,
supervise.
the guy who I think he got mentioned on Buddies and on Steve Weiner's podcast.
I didn't listen to either one of those.
I don't blame you. No, I'm just joking. The Buddy podcast was very long, and that's not exactly a problem, but he was very mad.
Yeah.
He had some angry things to say about people.
He-
And apparently people like it because everybody's listening.
You know, and I'm not saying this as a negative thing because I see it with myself. You become very jaded after a while being involved with wrestling.
Yeah, it happens, man.
I can't say under what circumstances it happens, but I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
Some people I just can't stand, and some fans I just can't stand. Some just don't know their place, and that's what I was getting to. The ones that don't know their place. I see what you did there. See, no names mentioned.
Was that the guy who shit on the chair?
Yeah, somebody may have shit on the floor and shit on the chair, and that happens. It's a medical condition.
Yeah, that's not a good. That's
Chairs lives matter.
yeah. Chair lives matter. Please stop shitting and breaking on our chairs. Straight out of chairs.
I'm responsible for that.
What? Straight out of chairs?
He had asked me to when that was still popular. Because I think he was at work or something, and I'm just sitting at home like always, and he texts me, you know, that straight out of Compton thing. You should make one for chairs. And I took like his angriest picture, and I had to look through a lot of those, and I found the perfect one. The perfect one.
Was that around the shit chair incident at the same time?
No, I think it's when we were starting to run out of chairs, and everybody kept breaking them
Very nice.
because nobody cares.
All the wrestlers, right?
Well, yeah, the wrestlers and some heavy set people like myself.
Wrestlers and the heavy set fans.
But to be fair, I mean, I bought them secondhand from a supply place for $1 each, so it's going to happen.
Right.
Chair lives matter.
That's a shoot.
$1 each is pretty good. That's a good price for chairs.
Yeah, but they were like 200 years old, so I got
Right.
100 for 100, and now I'm down to, I think almost all those chairs are gone. We had 75 chairs donated from a church. Those are all gone. We had
Those are the wooden ones, right?
yeah, the
Those
wooden
weird
ones,
wood
right? Yeah. And turns out those are a fire hazard, so we would have had to get rid of those anyway if we didn't break them all. Then I bought those 100 chairs. We went through most of those, and then I bought more chairs from the chop shop landlord, and we've got about 75, 80 chairs now. And at one time, I think if you all added them up, probably about 400. So we've
gone through about 300 chairs.
yeah. And people wonder why I'm angry and bitch about
The
breaking
chairs
shit.
breaking all the time, right.
But I'm just this asshole who gets angry at
It's
things.
because people don't realize that keeping a place going costs a little bit of coin.
A little, just a little bit.
I would say a lot of it coin.
A lot of bit of coin.
People don't even take into consideration, though, how many times were Liz and I looking at each other like, do we have toilet paper? Better go buy toilet paper. Well, give me the money for toilet paper. Or go get it out of my purse or whatever.
The broom saga.
This asshole over here, Austin, broke a broom after I told him.
Those kids drove me to drink, he says.
Do we have to have a conversation, son?
Possibly.
Tell us about being offered to smoke marijuana.
What do you mean? Which occasion?
Oh,
There was this one time back in 6th grade when I had just moved into the new school, and I think we were in gym, and this kid's going around offering people edibles. He's like, "Yo, guys, my cousin makes edibles. You guys want one?" And I'm just, I didn't think you could get away with something like that. I was so lost that I kind of stared at him and ran away because I didn't understand.
So what you're saying is wrestling isn't solely responsible for taking away all your innocence.
No, not entirely, but
See, you guys are off the hook for a little while then.
I'm sure that's so funny. Okay, so what did you say? Sorry.
The fans.
Yes,
Some of
fans.
the fans. I love most of them. Some. Oh, I got a Snapchat from one of the Middlesex Express guys.
He was giving you a kiss.
He was giving me a kiss. Send one back. Send one of my dick pics that you have on file.
Okay.
She doesn't have any.
I do have
On file.
Oh.
Of Dick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Dick Lane.
That's
Got
what
it.
I meant.
Yeah.
What did you
Get
think?
Your promo,
I
your
thought-
promo picture of Dick Lane and send
Yes.
it to him, please.
Obviously, Jesus. Really?
That's so funny. This is like family therapy here.
It is.
What?
Fans, okay, so I don't even know if I've told you this. I've told some people. Might as well make it public. There's a guy. Don't even need to mention any names.
Dave.
Not Dave.
I just said a name, first name.
He shares a name with one of my kids. Now, this guy,
Yep.
swell guy he is.
Steve Austin.
God
damn it.
He and his wife divorce, and being lonely, he contacts my ex-wife, and they start hanging out, and she's
weird.
She's weird? No, he's weird.
No, it's
weird. The whole
That's
situation's weird. Yeah, and
that's weird.
Now you can't tell me. I know, guys. You can't tell me he's lonely. He's looking to
Dick's
get
out for hombre. You
yeah,
say it.
exactly. Dick's out for ex-wives, and he's trying to take her out or whatever. I can tell.
Just joking, dude. I was just kidding.
I know after knowing her for so long that she's not interested, but he's going to try anyway.
Right.
And, he's like going to the movies with her, and I would imagine nothing amounted to it because she didn't give him the time of day. So, as the song goes, he was on to the next one. And one of the first people I guess you could say, started seeing after
your relationship.
After that whole thing went south, he started talking to her. And that's when it got really weird. It was a lot like, how AJ Lee went after CM Punk, and this guy is on record as being one of my biggest fans.
Right,
and
big supporter.
And AJ Lee, how she felt about Lita, so she went after Lita's sloppy seconds, that being CM Punk.
Right.
And it was just weird, and I'm pretty calm about it now. But
at the time.
But at the time, and when I really think about it, it makes me sort of angry. So screw fans like that. And then there's other...
Right, but you have to take into consideration that I don't want to say you put your personal life out there, but you put your personal life out there.
I do.
You know what I mean? And it's not...
So that gives somebody a reason to go in my fridge and get my leftovers?
Absolutely not, but it can't be too surprising to you.
You would think at this stage of the game that nothing is surprising to me anymore, but people like to prove me wrong. And,
Yeah.
and if it's not a situation like that, it's other creeps stalking people who mean a lot to me and making them feel very uncomfortable. Or slipping into somebody's DMs and flirting and saying, "Hey, I got Snapchat, and do you have Snapchat?" And it's like, is that what it is these days? Like, doesn't anybody want a relationship, or they just want fucking
nudes?
Nudes. Send me nudes.
Nudes.
Totally don't have a Snapchat, for the record. Not at
No,
all.
not at all.
Not at all.
But if you did have a Snapchat, what would the name be? No, don't even say it. Don't even give it out.
It would be
Liz D.
At Liz D. Gotcha. So, yeah, I didn't turn my back on any fans. They went and stabbed me in the back first. Except for,
obviously, the majority of fans aren't heavily involved in your personal life.
Some of them try to be more than they should.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure because you probably get a lot of people that think they're your friend as well.
And some of them are, though.
Right.
Like, I'll shout out Nick Kacheri. There's
Carici.
I said that. Said it off the air. That's a very Portuguese way of saying it.
Yeah, I'm French, dog.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Mack,
you can't tell by my outrageous accent?
Mack, that's not Portuguese?
No.
No?
It's not. There's not like a line above the C.
Oh. See, I thought there was. I'm
No,
looking
no.
at the mask. That's somebody's.
This is somebody. That's
somebody's blood.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
might be blood.
Did you headbutt somebody?
The Middlesex Express were here, not here. They were here in the future, and I could have possibly headbutt one of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. But yes, some of the fans become friends and very close friends, and even somebody like Nick Manelli, who's actually had a part in RWA way back, better known as the manager for Student Body,
Right, yeah.
like 4 or 5 years ago. God damn, that much time's passed. Nick Manelli, he's like a father to me almost. He's always checking in on me, and he wants to go to Hooters, and that's the way to my heart. He's like, "I'll buy you a beer, just take me there."
To Hooters we go.
Yeah. It's a damn shame that the nearest Hooters is like an hour and 45 minutes away, but I'll make
Is that the
drive.
case?
Shrewsbury. What?
It's not one in like Warwick or
No, no. Warwick. Since I don't know, not last year's snowstorm, but the year before that, there was damage, and they abandoned the place.
It seems like the man knows his Hooters. Trey.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree. The man apparently knows his. It's the hot wings that do it for you.
The Hooters.
The actual Hooters, like the
Why are you
like
passing the mic to me?
like the breasticles.
Oh.
See, you know all about those.
Yes, I do.
Hooters.
This is not entertaining radio.
I'm trying to find out what he means.
Oh, don't do that to Siri or whatever you have on your phone.
Google.
Okay, okay, Google, show me
Everything's
Hooters.
going on. There's just breast pictures popping up on everyone's phone around here.
What did you say? Okay, Google too, and where do babies come from? And it showed you pictures.
No, it was
Wait now.
showing results for it.
Oh, and then you
Mine ended up in
Inappropriate.
and it's linked to my profile, right?
You have a profile?
No, actually, I made that whole thing up.
Now YTY could also be in reference to everything that's kind of going down right now.
Oh, excellent segue. What's going on?
That's what I'm here for, dog.
That's what you're here for.
He can't do that. He'll just be like, "Man, when did you get into pro wrestling? And who were your favorites as a kid?"
Shawn
When did you get
Michaels,
into pro wrestling.
1997.
No, as a fan.
As a fan, WrestleMania 7. I don't know how old I was or what year that was.
1907.
Is it? What was your?
You're definitely not the first person to tell me that WrestleMania 7 was their first, the reason I got into wrestling.
And you only got into wrestling because of a cute boy. Typical woman.
Tons of cute boys in pro wrestling. You are the cute boy, T. The other cute boy.
Wait. Which cute boy?
I don't know. You told a story about a cute boy that liked wrestling, Stone Cold.
That was when I didn't like wrestling.
Right. But you tried to get into it then.
Oh.
And it took Sean Leader and Crimson Alchemy almost stabbing each other with knives for you to get into it.
What can you say? I kind of like that sort of thing.
I feel like I didn't see that match.
Oh, it's a barbed wire ladder match where there was a it was a milk crate lined with barbed wire, and you had to stick your hands through it and pull.
Oh, was it the TV title?
No, there was something in it. There was a TV title. Okay, so yeah. Okay,
Junior heavyweight, maybe.
so there may have been a TV title stuffed in a milk crate with barbed wire wrapped around it and barbed wire on the ladder to climb up. I'll link it to you.
Cool.
If anybody cares, I'll.
It sounds painful.
So there was some kind of saw contraption that you had to stick your hands into to grab the belt.
Yeah, it was something they thought up because they're both sick.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah, sick bastards. Apparently, Liz fits right into that sick bastard type thing, but now I can see why she wants me to stick a knife through her throat while I'm on top of her.
So all the Macamaniacs.
Or
Wrestling
it's
during
because
your
she's not
matches,
enjoying it and she just wants to end it all.
I thought you were doing during your matches. That's
That's
Yeah.
when you're on top pinning her.
Yes,
for
take
the
it home.
victory.
37, take it home.
All the Macamaniacs have been waiting. They've been listening. They want to know YTY, and we were just about to get the info, just about to grab it, just about to go right in my ear hole, and nothing. You keep getting sidetracked, trainee. We gotta get the info out of them.
Why are you yelling?
Because you're right in the side of me, and
You're behind me. You're like leaned over.
I know, it's
But
kind
this
of
is
up
the
high, Tracy.
worst. I hate
I'm
this.
up high. I'm
When this happens in normal life and he's like standing up behind me, I always try to fight him.
He's what you call a close
I can
talker.
sit by the lady if you want.
Yeah, go sit by the. Yeah. It's not even close. It's just
I gotta decline the bench though. The bench is up in an upright position.
he's gonna do a bunch of loud and noisy stuff. So what's happening right now is I found out, but the news didn't leak out until a little afterwards, where like RICW postponed all their shows, MAW postponed all their shows, RW. Jesus Christ, that is so loud, Mac. What are you doing back there? You just couldn't sit at a slight arch. You had to move the whole weight bench thing down. Oh my God, that's so loud. This is great.
It's worse than nails on a chalkboard.
This is great podcasting.
I got it, dude. It's a comfortable seat now.
All right.
Still better than listening to you yell at me.
Now, I don't even know what we're talking about.
ITY.
Oh, Y2Y, Chop Shop. The Chop Chop.
Chop chop.
Chop Chop. So it just kind of, one day we had the Chop Shop, and then the next day it's just gone. There was, what was it, Fatal Impact?
Fatal Impact. It was a Fatal Impact. The long and short of it is, we weren't supposed to. I mean, for those who have been there, they know the setup, and they also know it's hot as balls in there. And there's a ledge where you can kind of help yourself out the window and cool off, or make some more room because the locker room's cramped. Despite what you may think, that locker room back there does not go downstairs, does not go to a back room. It is cramped from shoulder to shoulder, and
it's not a lot of room in there to change.
When you have 20, 30 some odd people, it gets kind of cramped
and warm and stinky.
Yes, I mean, among other things. And for those who don't wash their ass or wash their gear, it's a dicey situation sometimes. So some people would go out on the roof, not necessarily supposed to be out there, because if you remember back, I think 2013,
when the ceiling collapsed.
The ceiling collapsed, exactly. But I mean, that wasn't our fault. That was just shitty workmanship.
Old building.
And I pointed that out to the landlord when we moved in there. I'm like, is that going to be a problem? No, we just fixed it. Okay. Almost a year later, the roof caved in. So, I mean, he had, what's that?
It was that December.
Same January we moved in, December it happened. Don't interrupt me ever again. So, before our roof above us got fixed, they had some work done to the left as you walk in the building, and I don't know how much that cost or whatever, but he didn't want anyone out there for the sake of ruining it or whatever. And we had gone out there anyway because it was hot and we were trying to make more room. And whoever was out there left cigarette butts, empty water bottles, Gatorade bottles, wrist tape, you name it. All the stuff that's usually on the floor in the chop shop.
Telltale signs that it was a pro wrestling locker room.
Yeah, dead giveaway. And when somebody sees
water
that...
bottles, wrist tape, probably a spray bottle somewhere.
Yeah, some rat
baby
traps,
oil.
Baby oil. Some people use the spray-on Pam or...
that.
What's that? Vicks Vapor
Red
Rub,
Hot or whatever it's called.
All that stuff. Yeah, so all that stuff was out there. It was a dead giveaway, and it was like, I told you I didn't want you out there, so, you got to leave. And I'm like, when do you want us to leave? He's like, I prefer it was today. And I was like,
today?
Today? What the hell? And this was like the day after Fatal Impact. So there's also a conspiracy theory running around that someone may have forwarded that information to...
What's his name, Jesse
Gates. See, why you got a name drop?
Listen, man, I don't even know his real name. I can't name drop.
Yeah, there's that rumor that
I've heard that rumor. That's why I'm saying it. I heard that rumor that he tattletaled.
But you know what it comes down to, whether that's true or not, caught red-handed, and it is
right. It doesn't matter. We were for sure out on the roof.
For sure.
Like I wasn't, but there were for sure people out there. I went to the car and seen like the 12 guys that were on the roof, and I was like,
yeah, they don't even try to hide it.
We're gonna get caught.
Yeah. And I mean that's the way it stands. We obviously we didn't move out that day after.
Right.
We got our resources together. My father-in-law #AWR. He helped us out with the truck and trailer and the storage of everything that wasn't nailed down and some stuff that was nailed down. And now we're on the search for a new building, which has proven to be very difficult.
More difficult than you anticipated?
It's always been a difficult process, right. Because of price, location, size, all these different factors, and who wants wrestling in general, because it's met with still, after all these years, a certain amount of negativity.
For sure. I had recently been in contact with a local theater that I wanted to try to do a wrestling show / live Monster Mack show kind of thing at. Mm-hmm. And I was figuring out the logistics of how much we'd have to sell per ticket and blah, 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 how much money we'd have to spend on the show. And they seemed all about it. And then when I mentioned the wrestling thing, they were just like, oh, no, we can't do that on the stage.
So it was more so because of the stage, because maybe it wouldn't hold the weight of the ring?
It would for sure hold the weight of the ring. I'd seen a bunch of photos from plays where they had big props and stuff. Maybe not as heavy specifically but I looked at it, and I don't think at the state it was an issue. I think it was more of just the fact that it was wrestling.
What do you think contributed to that more? Do you think it's still the negative stigma from like a Benoit type scenario, backyard wrestling, or something new? Or, I mean, non-wrestling fans don't really stay in the loop, I've learned, and it could still be something from way back then, because wrestling is pretty tame now, and if anybody watched it, they'd realize that it's not quite like it used to be.
There's not a very high possibility of somebody getting hurt during a performance of The Marriage of Bet and Boo or like Peter Pan. You know what I mean? Like people aren't gonna. There's not a good chance of somebody getting domed.
With Peter Pan, you got guys probably flying around like Peter Pan flew, right?
Right.
Could end up with an Owen Hart type situation. Not that I'm making light of that.
No, but usually they're about 5 feet in the air doing something like that.
Have you ever fallen from 5 feet?
I have, but what I'm saying
Not
is
on a ring?
Our 5 feet. No, yeah, I used to jump off of like the balcony at Durfee, which was just dumb.
There's a Durfee in France too. All right.
No. This was previous to joining the training school.
Okay.
This is where he found me. I was dumb and doing stuff like that. And homeless. I had a beard. No, that was training number 9. I'm confusing my origin story with training number 9.
You couldn't grow a beard back then?
Yeah, I couldn't grow a beard back then. I tried. But yeah, I think it's more just the fact that it's much higher possibility of people being injured.
Well, certainly, it comes with great risk, but that's why every place I know of requires liability insurance.
Right.
And
Well, you're also looking in Rhode Island, which is different than Massachusetts.
Yeah, and I imagine it would be different no matter where you go. Each state has their own set of rules. But like I was saying, you deal with the who wants wrestling, who doesn't want wrestling, and now some of the places that it's funny because a lot of the places that were on the first time I looked 3 years ago when I was looking for the Chop Shop, there's still some of the same places, and you can see that the prices changed significantly, and even newer places like for those who know about the XWA Event Center, I can't speak to what they're paying, but there's similar locations, I believe, at that same address, and they want like $2,800.
Right.
Now, I don't mind telling you, we weren't paying $2,800 for the Chop Shop.
Correct.
And to come up with $2,800 and not have it come out of your own pocket is no small feat. And, being able to come up with $800 was hard enough itself. That's why I've had, Liz having my back with all the BS that I've gone through in the last year. It's hard enough to try to book matches, edit videos, and manage money. So it was great to have her and even JT helping out with different tasks and taking that weight off of my shoulders. But it comes right down to it. It is not cheap.
Sorry, I just noticed there was a button missing on here on the podcast equipment. There's a
The
thing
button
gone.
missing?
Yeah, I don't know. What happened to that? Do you have any idea?
What are the middle sex?
Did they steal the button from the podcast equipment?
That didn't happen yet?
In the future, do they futurely? This is like a whole time warp thing. You know what I
I'm
mean?
familiar with the time warp. We should get into that later too.
And so you're currently looking for a new location, but that doesn't explain why people gave the belts back.
Oh,
That
no, it's funny because
was that. I feel like that was posted in the open, right? Like that was a public.
No.
That wasn't a public post.
I mean, I may have done it. I don't think it was public. No.
But it is now.
Are you sure?
It is.
I thought it was like posted. Like
No, that was in the group.
I thought because the group page was already gone.
No.
Nope. I think you. Thanks for noticing. I think you had too much French wine. Yeah. On the way over, we were discussing how I am, and Liz knows me well enough that the way she put it is knee-jerk reaction. Stop it. Knee-jerk reaction is probably my specialty.
French wine is produced all throughout France in quantities between 50 and 60 million hectoliters per year, or 7 to 8 billion bottles.
6 million of those bottles have been coming right here.
Knee jerk.
Knee-jerk reaction.
Knee-jerk reaction. I'm an emotional kind of guy. I think that's
Right.
where Angry Tea comes from. Because
Right.
most times I'm pretty mellow, but you push me to a certain point, and Angry Tea comes out. And what was the other thing you said? Something about if something affects something I love.
When you get to that point, when something is hurting something you love, your reaction is to destroy it. Typical male reaction. At
Right.
first.
Yeah.
I thought she was. I actually took that as a compliment. Like, I thought it was like she was in tune to who I was and understood me, and I felt good about that. But now I'm just
Now it's just like
a typical male.
Now we're having marital difficulties.
now.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Can you give her the Wi-Fi password to download Uber because she's going to need a different ride home?
I'm sure I can find something.
we don't give the chicks an Uber. I mean the Wi-Fi password.
I bet you Austin already has. it.
I gave it. I wrote it. I sent it to him before he even got here.
He's crafty. I mean,
I'm sure.
he'll figure it out on his own.
See, probably. I'm sure you do. School's Wi-Fi.
I hacked my work's Wi-Fi, so
Allegedly. You allegedly did that.
allegedly. I mean,
All this is alleged, folks.
if you leave the Wi-Fi password out on a desk and I happen to see it, I'm going to count that as hacking.
Right.
And my data plan with what they pay me, I can't afford more data, and
So
I think it's an even trade-off.
that's pretty funny. So knee-jerk reaction. Your knee-jerk reaction after getting kicked out of the building was, RWA's dead. Give me back the belts.
It wasn't because of that, and I wasn't even really upset with people who were out on the roof because sometimes I'm out on the roof.
Right.
Because it's
We've
hot.
all done it.
We've all done it.
We've all done it.
Guilty as charged. Where the problem then lies in, like, RWA was built on the foundation that we're family. And this wasn't like the independents. I never wanted to be called an independent wrestling company. We're a family, and it's not, hey, you come in and wrestle, I'll pay you $20. Hey, you come in and wrestle, I'll pay you $10. Hey, you're getting nothing because this is a learning experience for you. This was, hey, we're all going to do this together. We're going to build this, and we're going to prove a lot of people wrong. And that's what we did for years upon years, and we've done till the very last day.
Right.
The dynamic had changed a little bit because the more people who watched us, it was our responsibility to give them a better product. And I think that's only fair. If you're paying your hard-earned money, money's not easy to come by for anybody these
Right.
days. If you're paying your hard-earned money, you deserve to see a show to get your money's worth. So, yeah, we brought in different talent, and unfortunately, those who were loyal to us got phased out because that was more than they signed up for. Some people just wanted to wrestle for the fun of it. Other people, I mean, I'll include Liz in this. Liz, she wants to make a real go at this, and I only use her as one example. She wants to take this as far as she can go with it, and I have nothing but the best wish nothing but the best for her, and hope she can do that. The problem was we were on the clock as far as moving out of the chop shop, and it was sort of an all hands on deck type situation. And to make matters even worse, if it wasn't bad enough that we had to move all that shit out, we had to park the truck around the back of the building because the damn trailer was too long to park in front of the building. We would have caused a 42-car pile up during rush hour. So many hands make light work. And we put it out there in multiple group pages, and it was met with very limited response. And that hurt. I feel like for a while now, I've done in this wrestling business more than I ever expected. I've worked shows with Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Vader, Bret Hart, and I'm not just dropping names to make myself sound like a big shot. That was just a great experience. Mm-hmm. I could say it's been great. See you all later. I do this now for people like Liz. I do it for people like Mike Montero, Mike Grossa. You can go down the list. I'm just naming two guys named Mike. Yes, but for the Middlesex Express, who have a podcast coming soon, I do it for guys like them who have not experienced all the things I have. So if I'm out there doing this for you, I'm not making money off of this. I'm not gaining anything. We're rolling the money back into the company. We have a little squirrel away for in a pile for savings towards a new building.
Right.
If we're in an all hands on deck type situation, I would expect more people than we got.
Right.
And that was frustrating. That hurt me. So there came my knee jerk reaction. And plus, granted, I've done everything I could have ever imagined. I didn't want it to die that way either, too.
Right.
So there was the emotions of dealing with that, plus people I consider friends and family. I also understand it's a spontaneous type of thing. Other people have plans, things going on. I appreciate those who did show up. I understand those who couldn't make it. There was some, and I'm not going to name names. There was just
But
some.
just people that didn't even respond.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And, I might be big and angry sometimes, but God damn it, I have feelings.
Right.
I'll bite your head off, but I have
Big
feelings.
angry teddy bear.
You know what? Yes, I'm a big angry teddy bear, right?
Yes.
And so that's where that all came from. Now, did I say hand in the belts, it's over? Yeah, I did. Did I mean it?
At the time, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, I knew Liz didn't want to give it up. I knew that people like RICW, MAW, they still wanted to do it. So, I mean, all along, she's been looking for a building because just because I'm not involved doesn't mean that it doesn't live on in some other form.
Right.
Obviously, my thought process, my knee has jerked back into position.
Right,
so to
right.
speak.
Cooler heads have prevailed.
And that, yes, that happens.
Awful lot of cliches going on right
What's that?
Messing up your knees is my namesake, not yours.
That's true.
I was going to say, this guy right here has got the messed up knee.
now. Hi. Hello.
Apparently, it runs in the family, and even Uncle Sip.
Yeah.
It's been surgically repaired.
Yeah, surgically.
It's back at 100%.
Didn't you try suing that doctor?
Dr. Dymore?
Yeah.
No, you can't get anything on that dude. Yeah, he is a good.
Doesn't even have an address, right? He's just driving his lab around. It's like a mobile lab
is it a
that he
P.O.
just sets
box
up
or
in
not even?
places. It's like a van. It's like a big white rape van.
Free candy on the side or no?
No.
Free knee replacement?
Yeah, free knee replacement. That's why he went to him.
What's that?
How many times have we thought Adam got taken by one of those?
There's been a few times we haven't been able to find Adam.
And you thought, like, white van, somebody got him?
Yeah, he's a sucker for free candy.
Who's not? That's the real question.
Candy from strangers always tastes better.
So, now that cooler heads have prevailed, where do you go from here?
So this is the exclusive news that I was speaking of. And I know some people were hoping that this was going to be a shoot interview or something.
Right.
Which, by the way, apparently there's a market for that. So when this is all said and done, maybe you want
Matt Cash shoot interviews?
Yeah, maybe
I mean,
you
the
want-
podcast is kind of a shoot interview, but it's not.
But you
There's
can
no
cash
video.
in on it. I'm giving you.
Yeah.
I'll give you like 10%.
Word.
Yeah, right.
We were doing this before Coca Cabana. He can
He can what?
suck. I did the crotch chop, but I'm holding the microphone.
Okay, so as things stand now, we are continuing to look for a building, but something, I guess you could say, fell into our laps. I don't want I don't want to give too much away because it's not 100% confirmed.
Right.
It's more or less, we'll say 95% confirmed.
Okay, that's pretty high percentage.
It's all but done. We just have to go over the particulars, but there is an opportunity for a new venue. And I don't mean in terms of wrestling school / event center like the Chop Shop was. I mean in terms of like what they arena
a
was.
one-shot kind of thing?
Yes, a one-shot kind of thing. Because let's be honest, if we're gonna be done and not be able to find a suitable replacement for the Chop Shop,
Right.
then we should. I would like to do at least
That last show, you're saying Fatal Impact to you isn't the farewell show you would wanted for RWA.
Yeah, I do believe that there's certain things that should happen and need
Right.
to happen, and to give a proper goodbye if it is in fact goodbye. I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's 100% sure.
Nobody is 100% sure. I mean, we've gone places, and I mean, certain people have made it so we can't go back to certain places because they don't know how to conduct themselves. And
I did a show there with NWW.
yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You know, some people who can't stop hitting the booze bottle for a little bit and
Couple minutes.
couple minutes, and you know,
Couple minutes.
I know you're listening to this, and I know you're getting mad, and probably like no selling a power bomb right now and ripping a ref shirt off and storming out of a building.
I seen it. I seen it.
That's a shoot.
Just calm down right now, okay? I'm not going to mention your name. I'm going to save you the embarrassment. I know you're getting angry. Sit down, smoke a blunt or something. I heard you got some Xanax. Maybe that'll calm you down.
Selling Xanax hit me up.
What? Listen, folks, do not try to buy Xanax from any underage children.
No, he was quoting somebody else.
Okay.
I picked him up the other day. He's like, selling Xanax hit me up, and I knew exactly who he was talking about. I popped for it. And do you know?
Oh, I think I know.
Okay, fine. There's a bunch of inside.
Went door to door?
No, it was somebody. Never mind.
It's a lady, isn't it?
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Oh, see what he did there? That's
He's
a quote from the
slipping it
theme.
out. He's getting out who it is. I just still have no idea.
No,
No clue.
kind of multiple names.
He's a great guy.
He is.
He's a real good guy.
He's all around good guy.
All around good guy. Got nothing. No idea. No, I know who
Oh.
the referee was. I didn't know he made those quotes over
Oh
there.
yeah, all the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
All the same guy. Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha. He is so mad right now.
It's okay though, dude. I didn't know it was about you, so I don't know if anybody else will.
About me?
No, not you. I'm talking to him currently while he's listening. While he's listening, he's gonna listen. This is the Maccast, folks. People listen.
I'm gonna make him listen.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I
so
hate that
okay,
podcast.
that's right. Yeah. So we've been not welcome back to that building because of a particular incident, and there was also a referee who we don't use regularly. Actually, we've used once, and
Is he 12?
no, he's not 12.
Okay, not the referee. I was thinking of.
He's got the same last name of one of the Backstreet Boys, Nick.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Aaron.
Yes. Okay.
Nick Aaron.
Rhymes with whack.
Yeah.
Okay. Might as well just say
Wickety whack.
Wickety whack.
Hank Aaron.
It came
Continue.
it came into question that he may have been I don't know, something like that.
Having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I was tapping my nose when I did that, kid.
So that
I
burnt
think he is.
that bridge has been burnt for us. They upped the price at the Armory because people
People were usually going over their time, so they decided to make it a full day rental, flat rate,
Which probably costs
twice
a
the
lot
price.
more. Oh,
it's
yeah.
right, $600 for the Armory, not including insurance.
God damn.
So I mean, looking at $1,000 right there just for the building with that and
How you
insurance.
guys going to bring in Brian Fury and run the Armory?
We're not.
It's far too expensive.
We're not going to bring in anybody and run the Armory, or we're not going to run the Armory. And then, I mean, what else is there left? There's Thay Arena, but that's only good in the summertime when the ice isn't down. So even venues are hard to come by. Plus, you don't want to step on anybody's toes. You want to stay out of Fall River and keep your card happy. You don't want to step on any of Cordero's toes.
Blackheart.
I don't want to step on any. I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Right, you don't want
really.
to piss anybody off for no reason.
Because it's, and I'm not saying that any of the people that I just mentioned would do this, but wrestling's a shitty business, man, and it's happened to us in the past. People have tried to sabotage our shows.
Right.
I'm not even. I know I've hinted at a lot of things. I'm not hinting that Ricard, Blackheart, Cordero, Antonucci, or any of those people have sabotaged one of our shows. Not at all. I'm just saying people
have in the past.
have. It was legacy,
And they can.
and they can. And it's not necessary. It's a shitty thing to do, but it happens.
Right.
But I'll know Thursday definitely.
Like, for sure, what the deal is with
Yes, we've agreed on a price already. It's a gymnasium, so it's plenty big.
Lot of
enough,
room.
Lot of room. There'll be refreshments, food, like an actual kitchen type atmosphere. What do you mean? What do I mean? I mean
not a snack bar,
not a snack bar,
but
and
like
and
an
not
actual, like a
Have
kitchen.
a real kitchen to play in.
Well, see, I was about to make a joke that you're not booked for that show and you're going to be in the kitchen, but there's actually.
I will wrestle in the kitchen.
I will wrestle you in the kitchen.
I don't think we can let the fans watch that.
Master Mack fun fact: once he rolled out of the ring during a battle royal and then ordered a hot dog from a kitchen window.
Was that a first?
First time he ever ordered a hot dog during a show.
We have the footage to prove that, right?
No, I should have it somewhere. I got to look for it. I think Teddy was in that battle royal. There's a bunch of people in that battle royal. He was hungry. Left. Did you win?
No, I think I hit under the ring after that, and then after Scott Levesque had already won, I tried eliminating him, but nope.
Still just got eliminated. Yeah, okay.
Sneak attack. It totally failed.
Fails every time, doesn't it, for you?
Every time.
So, I'll know better on Thursday. There is a kitchen that, no, you don't have to be barefoot and pregnant in.
Good.
Just barefoot.
Just barefoot. You can wrestle barefoot.
No.
No, too many people with
No.
Chlamydia.
Way too many fetishes.
foot fetishes is what I meant.
Oh, I was going with the sexually transmitted diseases.
I knew what chlamydia was. Yes.
Okay, no, I just wasn't sure if you had
No,
any idea
if
what I
she
was saying.
comes out to the ring wearing like
Anything.
just pantyhose, I mean, there's gonna be.
Did you hear that, folks? That was aggressive. That was an aggressive evening. That you had.
It's multiple old men at once.
Gotcha. Or tortoises.
Did you say Tauruses or horse?
Tortoises. Like turtles.
Oh,
Because she's in pantyhose.
so
I don't know if you got that one.
I got that one.
Okay.
Yes,
Because you were clear about the chlamydia one, but not about that. You seemed confused.
I didn't know if we were going to out him about that.
I'm the.
Well,
Fine.
Of course, the fans will be clapping when she comes out. Like, why? What are you guys talking about? Isn't that what they're supposed to do?
No, she's a bad guy. Not that I'm assuming your gender.
Ah, I see.
Gender fluid, I believe that's what they say these days. Is that what it is?
Fluid out of it.
I don't want to hear a single thing about genders ever again. My generation is all about, oh my god, did you just assume my gender?
You know there's 74 different genders, right?
I don't even know what any of that means. Did you assume her generation while you assumed your gender?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
What do you identify as?
I identify as
Tease,
a Nintendo
kid.
Entertainment System.
As an NES? Amazing. Let's get some Mario going.
You won't want to know. You have to plug it in.
So throughout this podcast, you've said hashtag AWR 2 or 3 times. What's an AWR?
What's an AWR? As if you don't know.
I wouldn't have any clue.
You know, I need a creative outlet, and you know, for a while RWA was that, and I divvied up the chores, I guess you could say, as I said earlier, and that left me. It left me. It's true. It left me feeling somewhat creative, but in a different way. Ideas that wouldn't necessarily fly in RWA, and I'm talking time travel. I'm talking.
Do time travel in RWA?
Yeah, but
Not current. Like
this is real.
I see what you did there.
You know, well, let's just go ahead and call it. You and I have had conversations off air about crazy ideas,
for sure.
like a la Wrestling McAwesome Fest,
Right.
and
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
something that like that to life, and it just spawned from there. One idea after another, one idea more ridiculous than the other. So that's where the idea of AWR came from. And for those of you who don't realize, who weren't there because it was a private invite only, AWR is what backwards.
RWA.
Very good. Alternate wrestling reality, and basically the premise was and then the videos will be out soon, made available to the public, and in said videos,
Available to me because I haven't seen anything from those shows.
I am working with a laptop that is halfway broken and slower than a turtle.
Goddamn, Chris Cruz has seen the footage. Sean Lita has seen the footage. Bobby Rossi has seen the footage.
Everybody, you need to go to Sean Leader's house
I'm
because
not doing
he.
that. It's just not gonna happen.
Okay,
In the words
We
of
make
most
people
of my
come here for the
generation,
podcast.
it's lit.
It's lit, fam.
it's lit at Sean Leader's house.
It's cool, man. It's lit here most of the time too.
But yeah, he has the footage, and waiting for him to send it through Dropbox was a tiring process.
And everybody
but
watched it.
Then,
there.
yeah, everybody watched it there. He sent it to me.
Except me.
I've been working on it, and I'm very happy with how it's come out. But yeah, so in these videos that you will see, I would say within a couple of weeks, Dick Lane and Tom Billington were working on a science experiment. The science experiment was Dick Lane's suit.
Yep.
And my darling son over here spilt some water on it, thus sending everybody into an alternate dimension where I had died in a car accident, and Liz was my widowed wife.
Your widowed wife, who
Yes.
then assumed control of the RWA, AWR, which is really RWA.
Well, then some jamoke by the name of Jay, I believe, just kind of I don't know what he's up to, but I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
He swooped in for the scraps, is what you're saying. He tried to take advantage
Like
of.
Always Sunny style.
Always-
You got move in after completion, and then scraps. Is there a third one? The dentist system. It's dentist system first.
I'm gonna have to Google this. This sounds
You
interesting.
demonstrate your value, engage physically, neglect, nurture.
Something else.
Oh, what's the I stand for? Somebody right now is yelling at that podcast.
Separate completely.
I know what the I know what the S stands for. What does the I stand for?
What's the acronym?
Dentist. DENNIS.
Okay.
I can't remember the I. Then S is separate completely. It's Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So that's what I have to Google.
Yes.
And this
The
is
dentist system.
And this is for what, widowed?
to just bang who was
Oh, okay. I'll look it up for him then.
okay.
Not really my style.
Apparently, it works wonders. I don't know.
Apparently,
The television tells me so.
okay. But Mac never tried it, or it never worked.
No,
for
he
Mac?
has the Mack system, which is move in after completion, kid.
Completion of what?
You know,
Final completion.
The final completion.
Not the final deletion.
No.
That's when you leave her pregnant?
Deletion, that's what happens to you when you leave her pregnant. You delete yourself from the scenario and get the
Okay.
hell out of there.
Separate.
Separate entirely.
You hear him?
I knew you'd come. That's not a... God damn it. The Maccast has been overly sexual today. I don't know what the hell's going on. These
Why?
two
What-
episodes.
what else
the
happened?
Middlesex Express were here, and they're just... Yeah, they're
That
just,
happened? I thought it didn't happen.
Well, in the future. They're very sexual in the future.
It might
This
be.
is the AWR podcast.
So,
So, yeah, maybe me and Mac might have to find like a time warp sometime and jump in there
You
and go
definitely
grapple
could.
up some hooligans.
Definitely. There's
Let's say, what was the difference between AWR and RWA?
besides me being dead and
Yes, I want some. I want some other differences.
well,
You mentioned time travel, but
Austin actually being booked. Yeah. Let's see.
he's old enough to wrestle in this.
I'm kidding. I love you.
Wow.
It's over. I'm gonna go cry now.
Wow.
Cookies, dog.
I got cookies.
The cookies were over. That's what he was implying. Not her.
Yummy.
So Liz was you can explain your character better. No.
What? So,
What was your character? What persona did you assume in AWA?
what persona? I would Did you just assume my persona? I would call it a very June Cleaver. Before your time, dear.
Explain it so the kids these days will understand.
No, I don't think the kids these days would ever understand a stay-at-home mom that doesn't have to work 3 jobs.
Is that stuff still on Nickelodeon? Nick at Night?
I don't think so. No. But the concept originally came from the idea of doing a 1950s housewife gimmick. And I was told that would never be over. I have proven that wrong. It kind of went from there. Now I have plans for how to evolve it, but I will keep those to myself. I live in eternal hope. But
So it's pretty much more gimmick oriented.
yes,
a lot of for the
yeah,
fun. Kinda.
it's
That's what I
AWR
was-
is AWR
Wanted
is
him
more.
to name off some gimmicks that were there, like that guy who's the zombie and the doctor listen, she was yelling about the 50s. I don't know what the hell's going on. And the beavers and the cleavers.
I started explaining with
Yeah,
you. You get really close to
We're
it.
gonna
I'm
get
going to
into
whisper to you. No. It's just a far departure from what everybody's normally doing.
What wrestling shows are. Like, I
Right.
feel like, I don't know.
Instead of the Middlesex Express, you had the Cape Cod Express. There was a wrestling zombie, and you talk about being over. This guy,
That
was
zombie,
over.
people loved it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that phrase JT uses?
Over as fuck.
Yeah,
There it is.
The zombie was over as fuck. Chris Cruz was the Cali Crush, which he should just do everywhere.
Everywhere.
And there was plans for a lifeguard. I know he wanted Baker as a lifeguard,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I think what's his name, Todd Harris was in talks for being a lifeguard. I mean, just over the top crazy ideas. We had. And you're going to run into your other self there if you remember from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
two
you
of me
might
here.
bump into-
There's-
yeah.
and cause catastrophe. But there was a
Time
paradox.
warp.
There was the hooligan Tom Billington there. There was actual Tom Billington who went through the time warp. There were the Hollywood Balds, but this time around was Vincenzo Abruzzi and Christopher Dozer, not
Not Vinny and...
right, not
and
Vinny and
Sip.
Sip, exactly. And it was just a chance to.
Oh, and the judge.
And the judge, however, due to family emergency, had not yet actually debuted. We did a couple practice runs,
Right, yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody could try their thing out. And
I feel like the judge found his shtick.
I think the judge shtick is money. This is just another layer to him that people weren't expecting because he's very reserved, and you don't see a comical side of him. And this, you actually get to see a different side, and it's lit.
Well, I heard there was a wrestler that turned into a hot female. Something to do with Billy Ware. What's going on with that?
For those RWA historians, back in the 2011 era, there were also multiple places running out of our building, then known as the Force. One of those was known as PWE, where Billy Ware and Logan Rose were known as the Beefcakes. Now, in AWR, they were gay yoga guys. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with being gay. I just want to say it's 2016.
G-A-Y?
Yeah. It's 2016. If you want to bang another dude, by all means, bang another dude. And my boss Actually,
That's G-Y-G.
I don't approve of him.
I thought it was a little fun quip where their tag team name was Gay Yoga Guys, but that's not how gay is spelled.
No.
Yeah, that's not what.
Yeah.
So,
I lost you on that one, dog. I don't even know what just happened.
a quick side note: at work, the shoot job, because I have my hair up in the man bun, my boss, I don't approve of this, said something sort of insensitive towards gay people. Not that I condone it or I'm sending any people his way, but I screamed throughout the warehouse, it's 2016, if I want to bang another dude, I'll bang another dude. And they all look at me funny now, and I'm fine with that. However, going back to the Beefcakes, yes, they were a tag team, and Billy Ware debuted, I think he's Willie Ware.
Willie Bear.
Willie Bear.
Stop that.
I'm right here, son.
Why are you texting
He debuted the character there, and a female came out claiming to have had a sex change and to be Logan Rose. And I would like to speak to the doctor because that was a hell of a sex change.
He did a great job.
He did a great
Bare
job.
minimum.
I don't
to
know
say the
that.
least.
I don't know that Billy Ware appreciates it, but I mean, yes, sex changes and yoga guys and some other people like from RICW that you wouldn't normally see at an RWA show. It was just a mixed bag.
Guys like Hunter Kane, who was getting a push, kind of.
Through push.
The ideas, anyway.
Yes.
The ideas were to push
Well-
Crimson Chemia.
Yes,
I don't know if I'm saying that right. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsei Kakamura. I like that. I'm sure he'll like
Shinsuke
that.
Nakamura.
his jacket vest thing? It's very...
I was dead. I didn't see anything.
I wasn't talking to you.
Somebody like Hunter Kane, who I've had the privilege to work with, he was green as goose shit and still is to some degree, but his,
Yup.
people may hate on him or not appreciate what he's doing, but he's trying. He's not
Right.
trying the normal ways. He's in a sense, a lot of those guys are trying in the renegade way and doing it on their own, and that's frowned upon by some people, but the effort's there, and I've noticed the effort, so I felt like he had a place in that to grow and learn from more people and get better.
Now, what is your response to the conspiracy theory that RWA getting shut down was just an excuse for you to take AWR and start it up as its own thing?
Did you just make that up, or
I did not just make that up.
that's a thing?
That's a thing.
I have to process this information.
Yeah.
So
That you purposely let RWA get shut down, or after the finding out about the building thing, that you wanted to shut RWA down. That way you could run AWR in the future as its own thing.
awkward silence. Has AWR run yet? Did we talk about a venue that I have a meeting for on Thursday for AWR?
No, I can't say that's been a thing at all. Actually, no.
What is AWR's chances of having a second show, though? Because I would like to check this out, see where some of these storylines play out.
You know what I forgot to mention too? Chris Sterling, Cactus Black.
Cactus Black. Yeah.
And that's not to get off subject or the argument that we had because he didn't want to use that song. Never mind. That's another story.
Ugh.
So
What a ridiculous thing.
I said on the way over here, I guess I said a lot of things on the way over here. And I said,
Apparently we should have recorded the podcast in your car.
yeah, maybe. I don't think. Well, you know what? I have had up to 8 freshman girls in my car from Roger Williams University.
I was going to say, from high school, dog?
No.
What is going on?
There were. No. Sorry, I'm counting myself. So there were 7. 2 in the front.
You're a freshman college girl?
I might as well be. I spend more time there than anywhere else. 2 in the front on each other's laps.
Womp womp.
4 in the back and 2 on their laps, and that makes 7, and I make 8. Yeah, my car didn't want to move. Point is, AWR. I said on the way over here that it'd be a damn shame if all the ideas we had went to waste and we weren't able to actually do that.
Right.
But it's not something that I'm gonna bury my baby for. Ideally, and Liz said it too, we want to do both.
Right.
But without RWA, there is no AWR.
Right.
So, apparently, these are people you're talking to that said this?
No, just rumors I've heard.
Yeah, okay, so people you talk to, that's where rumors come from.
No. Stuff they heard. I heard from people that heard other people say those things.
So that's a thing.
Yes, I'm not joking. This is a real life thing.
So this is based on assumptions, and it spreads like wildfire.
Correct. That's why I asked about it.
What are we assuming today?
We're assuming a lot. So no is what
Okay.
I'm going to say. And while we're shooting, to the person who assumed that, person or persons who assumed that, you're fucking idiots. The end. RWA has my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. And, you know, although I've been back and forth on this issue, as far as if wrestling cost me my marriage, there was
First marriage.
my first marriage. Yes,
It brought you your second.
my first marriage suffered a lot, and there were a lot of times my kids didn't see me or had to spend hours at the chop shop or building because I had to be there, and they were bored out of their mind. I sacrificed a great deal for that company for the sake of everybody else, and you know, I'm editing videos on Christmas when I should be sitting with my kids and watching them play with their gifts.
Yeah.
I've done wrestling shows and missed my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. My mother would ask me if there's any wrestling shows so she can plan my brother's birthday cake and party or her birthday or a family gathering. People worked around my schedule. And, you know, had I focused more attention on my ex-wife, maybe things would be different. That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Also, another way of looking at it is, no matter what, I gave her the world, and the more and more you give, the more and more they expect. Don't you ever pull that shit or I'll off you. The more and more...
Allegedly.
No, I was talking to her. The more and more you give, the more and more they expect, and I think that's what also came down to it in the end. But no, it's not to run AWR. End of story. And you're fucking idiots. Come to me with this shit instead of thinking it up, getting high and thinking of shit. Come on now. I thought we were all friends.
But I'm definitely glad to hear that there's still hope for RWA and that it's not, your decision was that you're just done with it and you want to separate entirely, that there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, that there's still hope. And I wish you the best. You know, I would love to continue to work for you. I thought AWR sounds like an awesome idea, and RWA always has been a special home to me because I felt like at the time, you know, I was one of the renegades that needed to be taken in and find a home, and I met many different friends from it, and I always appreciate that.
This became a very somber moment.
Yeah, what the hell? What's going on?
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
saying
used
in
to
case,
serious, Mac.
I'm just, you know, expressing my feelings a little bit of RWA.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right, then in that case, you know, I hope the show goes all right.
Was there anything else, T, that you wanted to get out there to the people listening, the podcasting world?
I had notes.
Notes?
I think. I want to make sure I.
Hold them out yet.
I was going to say they're on the phone. You may have had them.
I
I usually yell at him about notes.
don't do drugs.
Right?
Say your prayers, take your vitamins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's overrated. Let's see. I said hi to Kevin. I shot on those two jamokes. You introduced us as the best wrestling family. I have 25 messages in this group chat that Liz has been blowing up. I think Sean Leader's jealous he's not doing a podcast with us.
Yes.
He is. See, I called it.
We want that footage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're willing to trade.
Yeah, what's going on, Yog? I want to watch that show.
Sean
and,
Leader, they're willing to trade.
And I got no vision of that. I haven't seen anything from it. I've seen one photo.
One photo? That's
One
it? There were
photo. That's
photos?
all I've seen.
Oh,
One
the photo. I know what photo you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
screenshotted something.
Yeah.
I sent it to you. I said, get a load of this guy. Look at it.
Look at
He
this
looks like
jamoke.
such a jerk. No, I think that's it. Do you have any questions for him? I know it's like you envy him to some degree, I think. And him, I mean Austin, because of how young he is. I feel like I turned around and started interviewing you.
That's cool. You can. Nobody ever does it.
You envy him to some degree of how young he is and how involved in the business he is. And he was even telling me the other day it's impossible to have conversations with people at school because they were just casual wrestling fans at best.
Right, and they have no idea about
they don't
how
understand the
anything
business.
works.
Right, exactly. So, like, I mean, I don't want him to feel cheated. I know he's probably had a great time. But, I mean, is there anything you want to pick his brain about is what I'd say.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I know you haven't exactly been this to teeth. Gino Giovanni, there was like an issue when he worked with RWA at one point, and then he left, and I feel like there was like a beef there for a while.
There was never a beef with me. It was other
right,
parties.
with somebody else that was involved or whatever, right? And Gino told me something about you a couple of years ago that you have continued to. You have a natural ability, like wrestling just makes sense to you. I don't know if you understand that yet.
I mean,
you have a confidence in the wrestling ring that some people would kill for, and you're young as hell, and you're as better than anybody that I knew when we were that age. And I think that if you stick to it, kid, that you're getting huge, you're tall. I know this is odd. It turned into me putting over Austin randomly, but I thought a couple of years, maybe a year and a half ago, I started like not exactly taking you under my wing, but letting you know to do things a certain way and
told me to grow my hair out.
Yeah, I may have told you to grow your hair out. It just works with wrestling, man. People in long hair.
He was growing his hair out, but then he wanted to trim his forehead a little bit, and he went a little too high, and he had a hairline like like that guy LeBron James. And so I had so I had to even him out. I give haircuts. Anybody needs a haircut, hit me up. $25.
Yep, sounds Xanax.
So I just wanted to say, dude, stick to it. I know that there's going to be points where you get uber frustrated, and I remember hearing you say it in a practice one time, like before the show, that you wanted to be looked at as a wrestler, not a kid wrestler. And from that point on, I knew that it's something that you wanted to do. And I think you need to stick to it, keep doing it, and keep studying. You're a smart kid, too. But join the Mack training school, that's for sure. And what number was it, 1137?
1,337.
There's 300. I thought so. It's 1337.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Do we have a 1337?
I think we have that spot open for him.
Okay.
But my advice that I want to give to you, since Trini went over and put you over and all that good stuff, I just congrats on finally dropping that CM Punk gimmick. I think
oh my God.
Ever since that, everything's been
it was
great
more of a
him.
copyright issue after that whole marriage happened with AJ and CM. We'll call him CM.
She's AJ too, right? Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think of that.
Oh yeah. So I think I heard her get mentioned as that once
as AJ Punk, and you were like,
but
wait a minute.
What it also
I'll tell you right now, Mack hated that you did that CM Punk gimmick forever. Hated it. Always talked that jive. I was like, he's good, and he was like, come. It
was mainly the CM Punk gimmick. I couldn't look past it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I at first. I mean, I'm 11 years old, and I'm coming out with a.
Not right now.
Well, no, at the time. At the time,
you were a big ass 11-year-old.
Well, I mean, Adam's almost my height, and he's 11. But
Jesus Christ!
What
are you doing?
What it came down to is
just putting out fucking beasts.
At first, when I was doing the CM Punk thing, it had to be the coolest thing for me because
you love CM Punk and he's super popular.
I'm coming out and doing the whole CM Punk thing, and people are telling me I'm good at it, and I'm just like, wow, I'm my hero right now. This is amazing. But obviously, over time, obviously Mack hated it.
Yeah, he hated it the whole time.
I definitely grew to hate it too because I mean, as much as I liked Punk, and as much as you could have drawn, I mean, you could have just I don't know if some analogies could have been made negatively about him. So oh, this kid's going to be bad too.
Right.
It was also
you just didn't want to be directly associated with the stuff that he was doing.
Yeah,
to affect
you can only go so far as a ripoff. You can do things and you can pay homage, but only for so long. And then you have to evolve. You have to change, or nothing will work. You have to always evolve. That's how. I mean, Undertaker did it.
Right, everybody.
I mean, it's the same gimmick, but
I just want to let everybody know there's a 14-year-old boy saying that right now. So all you guys, all you old-ass men that have been doing the same tired-ass gimmick for 100 years, Maybe it's time to evolve. Just saying.
So
That could be reference to us too, because we've been together forever.
For the past year or so, because I just saw in my Facebook memories I had my match with Tom when at Devil's Day as my cover photo a year ago or something like that, and that was probably one of the very first shows I started to chip away at getting rid of the whole CM Punk thing.
Yeah,
like, I was still AJ Punk at the time, but it I didn't like it. I didn't like coming out to his theme. I wanted to be me, and I mean, now that I'm AJ Phoenix or whatever,
but you're finding yourself more now than you were then.
That's my name. That's
your
what,
deal. That's you.
That's the gimmick. Not even a gimmick. It's just that's what it has to be. It has to be that, and then I have to continue to move forward. I've tried to eliminate as much of everything that he did that I was doing.
But you got to keep a few things, man. The knee in the corner thing. The jumping knee.
The thing with the knee in the corner is, like, I could do so much from that's different. Like, instead of doing the knee,
you don't
got to
do the knee bulldog, right?
No, even Ambrose does that now. Like,
right.
I could do so much more. Like, what I've been doing most is just the knee into a monkey flip or something like that. Like,
right. Yeah.
There's so much I could just build off of that with that. It leaves so much room and so much potential for so many different things that I could just, I don't even know. It would be, I don't know, phenomenal.
Well, I hope to see more AJ Phoenix in the future.
Well, as long as I'm booked.
Keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen.
Yeah,
learn.
Definitely. And when you were putting me over, as we called it, you mentioned confidence. And the funny thing is, I have zero confidence. Like, I go into every match so worried that I'm going to mess this up or mess that up. And, like, I don't know. I mean, I keep getting told, oh, you're so wrong for that. But, I mean.
I think that was coming for, like, you weren't willing just to go in there and get your ass beat. You gave a little bit. You knew when to fight back and have that confidence in yourself that you could do that with certain guys.
Yep. But yeah, man, keep your nose down. Learn, and you're gonna be good. You're probably gonna get signed, and when you get signed, give me a job match, or at least invite me to catering or something. You know what I mean?
Okay, you have front row seats before anyone in my family.
My dude.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
well,
wait.
No, you can have Adam's ticket. He'll probably he won't even appreciate it.
But T,
it's a shoot.
The whole Phoenix family, thank you for coming down. It's much appreciated, man. Like, I'm glad that we got this info out, and I got to ask you about the AWR thing.
I'm glad we cleared that up because
that's a real thing.
There's a lot of things, I guess. You know, I feel like I'm aware of what's going on most times, but then there's different circles that I'm not always involved in, and I guess
right. And then you hear things.
Yeah, and that blew my mind. Hey, everybody, come to me and ask me. I think most people know that I'll shoot straight. I'll shoot straight with you. Do I lie to you? I mean, I'll tell you.
I wouldn't have married you if you did.
Oh yeah, thanks.
The man doesn't lie, and we appreciate you having you and your whole entire family here down to the Mack Mansion.
They drove a minivan to the Mack Mansion.
We took an Uber.
The funny thing is, we were pulling up the street, and Adam referred to it as the Mack Mansion, and he had no clue.
He must listen
about that
because of how big it is, right? And the the gates open.
I mean, you can't miss it. Like it's noticeable from space. Like I've checked.
I figured
Google Maps.
the butler would have been a giveaway, right?
The guy who answered the door. Steve, come.
Thank you very much for listening, and thank you guys for coming down and girl to the Mack Mansion to doing the Mack Cast. As always, I'm Monster Mack, and I'm pretty much will always be Monster Mack.
Yeah, no,
as always.
Yeah, training number 1.
And we got training number 1 on the side of me. Everyone, have a good night, evening, morning, or whenever the hell you're listening to this.
How many episodes of this show has it been, and you're still bad at intros and outros?
What? That was a perfect outro. Get out of my mansion. What the hell? Sheaves.
No, for real though, that was a pretty good outro, dude.
Good night and goodbye.